Hey guys, what's up? It's Claire. So today we're going to be reading My Old Fanfiction. I'm not really excited for this as I haven't read some of this since 2014 when I wrote it. But you know what? I just have this much dignity left, and I mean, if I lose it, it's not really going to make a difference. Let's get started on embarrassing myself. Alright, so this first one is called Lucky Guess with a question mark. Can we just talk about this cover art? Like, Jesus. And this one was written September 20th, 2014 at 12:53 a.m. So little 12-year-old Claire was a rebel staying up at 12:53. Alright, intro. We were just 5, but we were the best of friends, with the number 5. One day, my mom told me we were moving. Back then, I didn't really understand what she meant, but I knew it wasn't good when I went over to Ashton, my best friend's house, one last time. Jesus, oh my god, this is Let's talk about how many fanfictions have actually used this storyline in the past year. Chapter 1. Margot, get down here, my mother yelled. Coming, I replied, closing my laptop. I sighed as I hopped off my bed and headed downstairs, probably to do the dishes or something. Yeah, I asked as I walked into the kitchen. Oh, hi, honey, She looked at the clock on the stove, 4:27 p.m. Well, that's supposed to wait till your father got home, but I guess I'll just tell you. We're moving! My jaw dropped. Moving? This is retarded. Yes, back to Sydney, remember? Sydney as in Australia? I asked. My voice was shaky. I couldn't just move and leave my life behind. What life? Yes, we're moving back into that old house we lived in when you were 5. Jesus! She was smiling from ear to ear. That's not possible. Like, the chances... This is so stupid. How did you manage to do that? I asked, still unable to comprehend what my mother had just said. We owned the property for years. Oh, and we leave in 3 weeks. So get packing, she said excitedly as she left the room. How could she be happy about this? I don't even know anyone in Australia except ... Ashton. He was my best friend, and we'd always stayed in touch, but not as much for the past few years. I did miss him, but I'm really scared to go back. This is such a terrible... Oh my god. I turned and left the kitchen, suddenly feeling lightheaded. I made my way up the stairs, opened the door to my room, and went straight to bed. Chapter 2, and I didn't even name the chapters either. Those 3 weeks seemed to go by in the blink of an eye. Before I knew it, she had shipped all of our boxes to Sydney, and we are getting ready to board the plane. Grammar. I had my headphones in and was texting my friends goodbye for the 100th time this week. Honey, we're going now, my mom said while getting her things. I got up, grabbed my bag, and headed to board the plane. The plan? I didn't even spell check this. Jesus. The plane and to my new life. Chapter 3. We finally arrived and rented a car to my new and old house. I don't remember much about it, but I hope it's nice. When we arrived, I slowly got out of the car. That's it. I'm just gonna... This next one is called Our Little Secret, and look at this cover art. This is like... Took a couple hours to make, obviously. And the description for this story literally says, he doesn't want us to be together. Then we'll have to keep it a secret then. Why is there then 2 times in the same sentence? Part 1, coming home. 8 months. It had been 8 months since Callum left for tour, and I missed him terribly. Callum and I were extremely close, considering he was just a year older than me. But there's this one thing that I can't stand about him. He is way overprotective. I remember once he had overheard my friend telling me that a guy at school liked me, and the next day he came to school with a black eye and a broken arm. And now that I think about it, I've probably only had one boyfriend that Cal didn't beat the beep out of, but aside from that, he's basically the best brother ever. I was interrupted by the sound of my mom's car horn. I immediately jumped from my spot on the couch and ran out the door. Cal, I exclaimed, running into his arms. I missed his hugs more than anything. Hey, Em, he said, a huge smile growing on his face. And did I forget to tell you guys, well, my name is actually Margot. Paper towns? But he calls me Em for short, and I don't mind. I actually like it a lot better since I hate my real name. I missed you so much, I replied excitedly, pulling away from our hug. How was the tour? Great, actually. He was interrupted by another familiar Aussie accent. Hey, Margot. Again. exclaimed a very excited Luke hopping out of the car. Ah, Luke Hemmings, one of Cal's bandmates. He was about my age. He had quiffed blonde hair and a lip ring he always played around with. He was pretty attractive in my opinion, but don't tell Cal I said that. This is so cringeworthy. Thanks, Luke said, laughing slightly. Wait, was I thinking out loud? Then I put Ed reference. What? Yes, you were. My cheeks suddenly felt hot. I was blushing and probably red as a tomato. I saw Callum give Luke a glare out of the corner of my eye, and Luke's smile faded instantly. I didn't know what had just happened, but I decided to ignore it. Anyways, hey Luke, I sighed. How was tour for you? Good, just glad to be home, he replied as Ash and Mikey were getting out of the car. We all said our hellos and such and went inside. Part 2. Stairs. My mom, the boys, and I have been sitting around the living room for at least 45 minutes listening to Cal, Ash, and Mikey talk about things they did on tour. Luke and I just kind of sat there. I mean, he talked from time to time, but he wasn't really talkative in general, so he kind of just sat back and listened to the stories he's probably heard 1,000 times. And then Cal was like, you just gotta embrace it. That's when I stopped. What? That's when I stopped listening. I looked over to Luke, who wasn't really paying attention either. I've always had a huge crush on Luke, but I could never date him because Cal. Cal, dot. Luke suddenly looked up at me and smiled, biting his lip. Ugh, I love when he does that. I swear, Margot is, like, 5. Luke's POV. The guys, Margot, Cal's mom, and I have been sitting in this living room for what seemed like hours. Ash was telling a story I've heard hundreds of times, and after about 5 minutes, I zoned out. I couldn't stop thinking about Margot. Over the tour, we had been secretly texting and video chatting. I had developed a huge crush on her. On the plane back home, Callum had warned me to stay away from her. Like I was actually gonna listen. Ooh! Oh my god! That's literally it. I don't know. You can just make up the rest of the story. I don't know what was gonna happen. But can we talk about how my Wattpad username was Claire Band's ex at the time? Like, what is this? But yeah, those are all of my fan fictions. I hope this was somewhat entertaining as you got to hear me complain about how bad of a writer I was. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe below because that'd be really awesome and we can become friends, and maybe I will publish a fanfiction with decent rating. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Okay, bye!